We all make mistakes. We've all been on the wrong end of a bad marriage or, something else, a problem with children. This is normal life for normal people. But Keir Starmer is presenting something. He's doing a Hugh Edwards. He's presenting to the world something he obviously isn't. There's something going on. Either he's been living at this apartment separated from his wife. There's been some issues. The thing is, the country wouldn't balk at honesty. The country wouldn't probably care if he was having matrimonial difficulties. The only thing I would care about, if that's going on in your personal life, how do you concentrate on the job, the biggest job in the country? That's the issue. And this, as you said, the hypocrisy of this party, every single time he opens his mouth, he backtracks on a former promise, and this fake concern he puts forward for pensioners and for people who are working class.
Two-tier Keir's UK Labour government is mired in permanent crisis. It's an omni-shambles as it prepares to mark 100 days of power with no obvious achievements. So yesterday, Starmer's cesspit of sleaze forced out Sue Gray, the Boris Johnson witch hunter-in-chief, after just 3 months as Chief of Staff. So there's no doubt now that this is a government of secrets and shady deals that is already unraveling and already out of control. It sparks many political observers to speak the previously unthinkable, for good reason. There is no way that slippery Starmer sees out his first term. Of course, this has been utterly humiliating for those in the MSM and part of the establishment who predicted we were about to enter some sort of period of utopia under Labour. How about the delusional Ramona Anna Soubry, who posted on X, "Is it just me? But suddenly everything feels normal. No more psychodramas and scandals like the grown-ups are back in government and people can get on with their lives watching politics out the corner of their eyes. Safe." And then there was the Channel 4 News biased frontman Krishnan Guru Murthy, who predicted a government with the likelihood of instability happening anytime soon as a complete fantasy. So he just gave up. And as the left-wing anti-woke union official Paul Embry wrote in response to Krishnan this weekend, it's still hard to believe that in the aftermath of the election, supposedly serious journalists peddled the absurd notion that the normal trials, tribulations and squabbles that bedevil all governments were at an end. No one comes out of this mess worse, though, than the ultimate champagne socialist Angela Rayner, who was just last week insisting this.
Will Sue Gray still be in her job by Christmas? I think so, absolutely. Sue Gray's been doing an incredible job.
Incredible job. Well, she's out of a job now. She's been forced out. But of course, it seems like Angela Rayner is more bothered at the moment about living a champagne lifestyle, a multi-millionaire's lifestyle. Look at this revelation in the Times today. Proud socialist Angela Rayner bought boyfriend a suit from the royal tailor. The Deputy PM paid for an expensive suit for the MP Sam Tarry, her lover, yet accepted gifted work clothes for herself worth thousands of pounds. And that's after she was humiliated for taking over £800 in hospitality on her little night out in Ibiza.
I take my job really seriously and what I do, and I work and I'm always in Parliament and I'm always doing what needs to be done, and I'll continue to that. But I also believe, as a former trade
What time of the night was this? I mean, how did you keep... I would have been in bed by that time.
Oh, Fisher's a really, really great guy. I've known Fisher for a number of years, and I just think you've got to have downtime as well. Everybody has to have downtime, but I do take my job really seriously, and I like to talk about what I'm doing to help other people.
I'm not criticising you. I just wondered what you thought about the uproar.
At times, people like to look at that element, or yes, I'm working class. I like a dance. I like dance music. I got criticised for going to the opera.
Oh, okay, so we've got £850 nights out, £3,000 suit, yet Angela Rayner still presented by the mainstream media as some sort of working class hero. Or to respond now to Labour's secrets, sleaze, and sex scandals, let me bring in today's superstar panel. And I am absolutely to have with me the legendary June Slater, YouTube phenomenon, and she's done it all. But now a big-time commentator on social media, Leilani Dowding. Great to have you both here. So,
thanks for having us.
June Slater, can you believe the fact that in 100 days this administration has gone to pot?
Well, it's a bit like watching the political version of The Office, isn't it? When you think David Brent can't get any worse, he does. And dead behind the eye Starmer tries to address the public as though he's sympathising. My 88-year-old mother-in-law came to stay this weekend, and she was talking about politics. She doesn't normally talk about politics. And I would say she's not politically savvy. You know, she watches the telly. She's no internet. And she just turned around and she said, have you ever seen anybody more wooden, this is how she talks, in your life? What a wooden man. He's dead behind the eyes and he's leading this country. And she's absolutely right, isn't she?
Yeah.
So you don't need to be politically savvy to recognise you've got zombie man.
I know.
Ruling the roost.
And just so much hypocrisy. I mean, I loved this post with where someone, Leilani, contrasted our future king to Keir Starmer, saying Prince William in the stands supporting his beloved Aston Villa at a Champions League game with other supporters, and we're meant to believe that Starmer needs a £10,000 hospitality suite for security reasons watching a Prem game. Not just lies, embarrassing lies. Starmer is repulsive.
Oh, he's absolutely vile. I can't stand the guy. But maybe he's just that hated that he needs more security than our future king. It's nonsense. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what it is, Dan? It's the hypocrisy. Because they went on talking about what, the Conservatives were given, and they try and pitch themselves as the people for the working class, and then you've got Angela Rayner saying, I love a night out, the working class people. No, you've got VIP experiences. It's not just your normal night out. It's behind the DJ booth. It's a 800, 900 quid experience that you're having. It is not like everyday normal working class going out to the pub. The whole thing's just nonsense. And it's the hypocrisy that gets me the most with it all. And the clothing, the wife's clothing, who needs all of that? They're supposed, look at Corbyn, look at how he dressed. He was so shabby. I'll take Boris's horrific sense of fashion over getting, these clothes being bought 70 grand, 50 grand, 30 grand, whatever it was. It's insane. And it just shows there's no cohesion in the party either, because then you've got Zara Sultana saying how awful it is that he's taking all these gifts from over the place, and you've got people like Rosie Duffield quitting. So there's no cohesion within the party. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Now, one of the big discussions that I have been having over the past week is the mainstream media silence over Slippery Starmer's personal life. Now, usually I would agree that this is of no interest to anyone, apart from the fact that we all know that the mainstream media relentlessly pursued Boris Johnson over his personal life, over how many children he had, over the details of his marriage. I mean, nothing was too small or too sordid to create a drumbeat for Boris to be driven from office, which of course eventually he was. Now, with Starmer, there have been rumours circulating for a very, very long time, but the discussion only reached fever pitch in Westminster once actually he had put his personal life out there to such a degree by accepting tens of thousands of pounds for his wife's clothing and then blaming his son sitting his GCSEs as the reason why he needed to stay in this posh Covent Garden penthouse. So, June Slater, does it matter what Keir Starmer's got up to. Does the shape of his family matter? Does it matter if he has any children? Does it matter if he's lying to his wife? Or are we just all hypocrites? That we only care about bringing down someone based on personal revelations if it's someone on the other side of politics? But first, it's the best time of year. Football is back. We're talking Premier League in the UK and in the US, NFL Sundays and college football Saturdays. With that, the glorious kind of fantasy football lineups is back too. So it's where your inner manager comes alive, setting the perfect fantasy roster, screaming at your TV and making last-minute waiver moves that either make you a hero or the guy everyone ridicules in the group chat. But listen, while you're over here making sure your fantasy team is dialed in, don't let your personal grooming become the guy that gets left on the bench, because let's be honest, nobody wants to fumble their grooming routine. So that's where Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra comes in, acting as your all-in-one grooming playbook. From keeping things sharp down below with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra to taking care of those rogue ear and nose hairs with the Weed Whacker 2.0, this is the lineup that'll keep you looking and feeling like a champ on and off the field. It will help you feel clean, confident, and ready to dominate your fantasy league. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Groin and Body Hair Trimmer is the franchise player of your grooming roster with precise trimming capabilities. It's reliable, efficient, and gets the job done without fumbling. Whether it's for a date night, weekend tailgate, or just everyday grooming, this is the tool you want on your squad. And no one wants a surprise nose or ear hair making a guest appearance on game day, right? So look at this. The Weed Whacker 2.0 handles those details like a pro, keeping you neat and ready to go. No missed tackles in your grooming game. And 2 free gifts today. The Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo and the Shed 2.0 Toiletry Bag Premium Gear to ensure you're always ready for action, whether at home or on the road. So join the over 10 million men. I'm one of them who trust Manscaped, and get ready for kickoff by heading over to manscaped.com. All you need to do is use the code Outspoken, that's at checkout, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Trust me, you'll be drafting the real MVP of grooming this season. So 20% off and free shipping when you use the code Outspoken at www.manscaped.com. Stay on top of your grooming game and be ready for anything the season throws your way.
Well, it shouldn't matter about his personal life, but when you're setting yourself up to be a figure of respectability to run a country, then it begins to matter a little bit, doesn't it? We all make mistakes. We've all been on the wrong end of a bad marriage or, something else, a problem with children. This is normal life for normal people. But Keir Starmer is presenting something. He's doing a Hugh Edwards. He's presenting to the world something he obviously isn't. There's something going on. Either he's been living at this apartment separated from his wife. There's been some issues. The thing is, the country wouldn't balk at honesty. The country wouldn't probably care if he was having matrimonial difficulties. The only thing I would care about, if that's going on in your personal life, how do you concentrate on the job, the biggest job in the country? That's the issue. And this, as you said, the hypocrisy of this party, every single time he opens his mouth, he backtracks on a former promise, and this fake concern he puts forward for pensioners and for people who are working class. Apparently, if you've got £6,000 in savings, he no longer views you as working class. It just seems to me it's the party that wants everyone to level down, not level up. It's the party to become poor. People are loaded.
Indeed. And look, of course, that is what matters. But Leilani, is there an argument that he is potentially conflicted too? Because, of course, lots of discussions about what he might be trying to do with the mainstream media in order to stop them from reporting on what they know about his personal life.
Well, exactly. He portrays himself as this very honest and squeaky clean character, when in fact, if the rumours are true, he's actually very dishonest, and he's trying to, again, silence and stop the media from reporting on news that apparently is public knowledge around Westminster. So again, he's manipulating what comes out when, as you've said, and as June said, we always hear about Boris's private life and what the media think of Carrie and her possible influence on things. So, he's putting his wife out there with front pages of him kissing her and all the rest of it. So let's find out what the truth is. And like you said, people probably wouldn't have cared so much if it had just come out and he'd been very honest about it. But it's the hiding it. It's the hiding it, and it's the portraying yourself as this nice, clean man who's just so respectable and so honourable. And that's, you know, again, it's the hypocrisy of it all.
Indeed, it is. Okay, Leilani, Dowding, June, Slater, stand by one moment, because in a minute, I'm going to show you why Queers for Palestine, Hums Are Useless, and Yasmin Alibaya Brown are bringing, in my opinion, shame to the UK on the anniversary of October the 7th. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and I've put some of the links in the show notes below this video. Keep watching our Outspoken clips to support this independent news venture with no spin, no bias, and no censorship, unlike the MSM. Most importantly, I promise to keep fighting for you.